Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today we have a really cool review for you of another wallet. This one is from Dango Products. They were founded back in 2015. They are out of the US in origin. They pretty much produce everything from wallets to watches and other EDC oriented accessories. Now, their market segment is really focused on quality products with industrial designs for active lifestyles. Now, this particular item, of course, is a wallet, and when you're looking for a modern wallet, some key common characteristics and design languages, you're going to be wanting, of course, something that's ergonomic, durable, made of modern materials, and then a really nice balance of design and functionality. Now, what we're going to review here today is their A10 Adapt Bifold pen wallet. Which is a mouthful, but this is pretty much their top spec modular toolless rail system wallet with full accessories, essentially. So you can actually get this kind of in pieces and piece it together, and that's what's kind of fun about the modular side of it. You don't necessarily have to invest everything all at once. Essentially, you can actually pick this up, everything out of the box for $139 direct, or you can basically get it for $109 without the pen and the notebook section, or you can get it for $99 with the single pocket wallet, or just $79 for the metal adapt wallet frame. Now, with all that said, let's actually go ahead, zoom the camera out, get these pieces in hand for a closer look. Okay, guys, now before we jump into the wallet review and the packaging, really quick wristwatch check. This is the Axios flagship. Now, this hasn't been released yet, but if you guys are fans of the channel, you know the majority of my reviews are actually watch oriented. So very quick wristwatch check. This one will be released in about 2 weeks, depending on when you watch this video. And this is a little sneak peek of it because, just so you guys know, these watches sell out pretty quick. Axios is from the same team, essentially, that brought you the brand Zelos. And of course, those watches all sell out pretty quick also. So definitely give you guys a quick little peek at the way this thing wears. That's what's on my wrist flopping around during this review. So go ahead and enjoy that. Now to the main course here. Now, as you can see, guys, it actually comes in some really nice case here, you know, nice tin. You get some instructions essentially, and it kind of tells you, okay, hey, you can fit 4 cards within that kind of main metal slot. You can even remove that, and then you can even slide a little card there, which is nice. Essentially, if you want to just use that, and you can have your ID card there, and it can be kind of a slim trim solution for you. Now, of course, this is not my ID here, but just so you guys know, because I don't want to get my identity stolen. Some of you will recognize this reference. Some of you won't. Some of you are just like, what is happening? What is this? But I implore you that if you do understand the reference here, you're probably going to enjoy it. So anyways, that can be a good place to put. And then, so check it out, guys. Before we even jump into this, one thing should probably be said. So this, right, with everything that encapsulates, as far as having a pen built in, right, and a notebook into your wallet, and essentially a pretty good, I mean, some of you are looking at this thinking, wow, that's really thick, but here's my regular wallet, guys. It's, in comparison, pretty thick with stuff inside of it, of course, my cards and everything. This isn't anything special. It's just a little Herschel wallet. It's pretty durable, but look at the thickness. Pretty much the same, except here you get the metal frame, which is great because that will actually protect your cards. I actually found like hairline fractures in a lot of my cards just because the way that they sit, and of course when I'm sitting on it, it's putting pressure, and then depending on where things align, you can actually get little stress fractures. But I carry that, right? But then I also carry this in another pocket. It's got a notebook, got my pen, and this is a pretty cool pen, don't get me wrong. Little Lammy action, little Batman action there. Look at that, pretty cool, right? A little disappearing. So that's a fun feature, right? You can bring around, oh, and also I have a place to put a couple of my business cards for the channel. But essentially, that's a decent amount of heft, right? That's 2 pockets. But here you go, guys, a single solution. And I'm not really one to try to consolidate everything. I actually am fond of kind of breaking things out and finding the right tool for the right job. But I gotta say, when I came across these, I was really, really impressed. I really like the material, number one. which is this really cool water resistant material. As you can see, a little spot. I keep a couple extra business cards there. That's probably what I liked most about it. And then, of course, the second thing was, bam, look at this. Made in the USA. You got this cool rail system. Comes with a little lanyard, essentially. And boom. And the nice thing is if you want to keep cash, you basically can have the cash folded up right here and then just close it. So then it'll be fine, and you basically have a place to keep cash that's completely solid. Another thing is because of the way the rail goes, right? You put this in your pocket, somebody tries to pull, they're not just gonna pull all your cards out, right? Like, and this is pretty grippy, so it won't actually come out very easily. Of course, unless it's you and you can flex your butt cheek or whatever you need to do and basically make it a little bit easier to kind of dislodge. So, you know, that's actually pretty nice. And I gotta say, you got this here, right? You got a nice notebook you can actually use and write down. Then you got this cool pen feature, and you can actually take it out, right? And you got the nice little grips here, which obviously help create a nice seal as well. And you know, if you want to stand it up, you could even put a lanyard through there if you really wanted to. But this thing's pretty nice, I gotta say. It's nice to kind of have it and really not you know, not have to do too much planning or prep. It's just always there with you when you're carrying this wallet, which I think is really smart. And you know, how often do you pull out your wallet? I mean, for me, you know, it's pretty often. Anytime I'm paying for something, I gotta rip my wallet out anyway. So if I could take it out, and then some of the nice features here is, see, the cards are nice and protected. Essentially, you can just pop those up, and then you have access to different cards. You could fit 4 cards in there relatively, you know, nicely. And if you want to pop these off, you can unscrew them and have this be open faced. But I do like the, you know, the quality and everything. And this portion here, this slider, this, if you really, you know, the nice thing is there's even a hole there. You could put a money clip. You could basically slide in your ID card if you wanted to. Boom, keep that there, and now you have that pocket underneath, right? So you can actually keep cash folded up in there, have this, and you can just carry this around if you need it, which I think is a really nice option. You could leave this in your car, not a big deal. And because of the rail system, it's actually super easy to reinstall back, so you're not doing anything crazy. And if you want to go slim and trim, that's your option. You can just grab this and go, right? Like, let's say you maybe don't need, maybe you're gonna go to something a little bit dressier, you don't want to have a big bulky pocket, you can go slim and trim with this, which I think is really cool. And obviously, although it's metal, it's not too heavy or anything like that, because there's a lot of milling work that's done. As you can see, a lot of things are obviously there's space here for cards, you know. And then you can see, if you look closely there, those little keepers essentially are going to keep them in place, right? There's a little spring to them. There's a little spring action. So they're going to hold in. So if I go like this, they're not going to come out. But when it's time to take some out, I can just do that. Boom. Can pull them out. And then I got this guy here. He's in place. Again, you have this nice little rail system, and that's actually holding it in place. So if I wanted to, it's not going to come out. But when I need to, I can just slide that bad boy right off, which is great. And I mean, you don't, it doesn't even have to be cash. You can put anything down there, right? Secret compartment. But for me, folded up a couple bills. Actually, let's grab some ones from my wallet here, and let's see what we can do. So let's take $3, fold it up, put it in here, right? Boom. So pretty cool. So it's, you keep a little cash in there. It's really nice. And then on the other side, if you want, you can also keep a little cash. Oops. Gotta try to keep it folded there. Sorry, I'm reaching around the tripod, so not the most intuitive grasp. There you go. So there you have it, guys. You can have cash in there, even though there's not really a cash spot. I think it's cool that they kind of created that. And then you can keep your ID out here because you're going to need it. And the nice thing is you do have that little helper essentially to push it up from the bottom which is great. And then of course you got to kind of angle it and stuff to pull it out easier. But I think it's better for it to be take a little extra work to get out versus it falling out too easily. So I think it errs on the side of safety there. This side you might not use as much, so there's not a pull there, but you can basically just reach in and pull out the cards. As you can see, little Average Bros online mag there. Maybe I'm at a watch meet or a get together or something. I could pull that out, which is fun. And then I do have a little space for some cash, a little secretive action. So I think that's actually pretty smart on their part, guys. Not gonna lie, I dig that, and I like this rail system and just how simple it is. And boom, I mean, it's even easier when you're not reaching around a camera tripod. But I gotta say that this one has really impressed me. I like the material, I like the finish on it. You know, everything is really nicely done. I like the stitching. That really, what does it for me the most though is this material, this waterproof material. I mean, I saw this and I was like, man, they should make watch straps out of this stuff. This is really, really nice. And you can see the stitching is really nicely done. The branding is nice and even. You have very uniform stitching all the way around. And this is something that can get wet essentially, and it's not going to be ruined, which is great. And then of course you don't have to worry about the pen either, because you can see it's basically triple sealed there, right? And the nice thing is it actually has a nice cartridge inside of here as well. So it's actually a nice writing experience, and it's pressurized as well. So you're getting kind of that outdoorsy kind of space penny experience, which is nice. So essentially some features, guys, they did pop across the screen earlier, but this chassis essentially can hold 5 cards, 4 in the back, 1 in the front, right? Because you can do basically, instead of the rail, you pop it off and you can put your ID card right on this side, right? So that's a nice feature. And then of course this thing's made in the USA. It's this great, you know, material there. It's all aluminum, lightweight, only 2.3 ounces. Dimensions are just 4.1 by 2.7, so just shy of 3 inches across. Then the thickness is only basically about half an inch or 12 millimeters. And it's made in the USA, which I think is great. And then you add in this bifold wallet portion, which is basically this cool black material here. So it's basically 3 things. You got the frame, you've got the bifold wallet, and then you have essentially the pen and the notebook, which is more of a package deal. But basically it's those 3 elements work together as one, and that's what you can basically get for $139 direct from them. Now, as far as the bifold wallet and pen adapter and kind of all that, what that entails, apart from just this cool metal frame that basically is a cool card holder slash, you know, slim wallet on its own, you're getting that Detex textured surfacing, which is great. So it does, obviously it's water resistant, but it also has a nice bit of grip, and you don't want something too slippery in your pocket, because honestly then it's really easy for it to fall out or be taken out, right, by a pickpocket or something like that. Water resistant, scratch resistant, very flexible. So that's always great. The pen itself is actually silver anodized aluminum, so that's very nice from that standpoint. Again, guys, great pen. And the nice thing is, because it has that flat surface there, you can stand it up if you want to put it on your desk, kind of use that as like a little pen holder thing if you want, or you can just use it within your wallet, which is great. Or if you don't want to use it in your wallet, the thing is still a banging wallet without that, right? You can actually just take that out. You can take out the notebook as well, get it a little slimmer, a little trimmer. It does take a little bit of finagling, if you will, to get this in here. And again, it's one of those things you'd kind of rather have it take a little bit of extra effort to lock down versus it falling out super easily. So now you take that out, and guess what? You have another space for cards if you really wanted to, which is great. And now you actually even have an even slimmer profile there, so the silhouette is even slimmer at that point, and it's still very usable. So you have a lot of different options. And even if you wanted to go a step further, you could take this out and basically use this as its own thing, right? You could just fold this up, stuff a couple cards in there, whatever. You can stuff a couple of bills in here, however you want to do it, and that is also now kind of a separate thing. So there's definitely a lot here you're getting within this package. I know some of you might be thinking, oh man, 140 bucks for a wallet, that's insane. Guys, there are leather wallets that are over that, okay? You just don't know it yet. And some of you do, and probably some of you are like, man, that's actually a pretty nice all-inclusive package for a relatively low amount of money. And then you have, of course, this the sliding plate adapter, which is great. It's actually a polycarbonate, so it's going to be very, very durable. One little tip I would say is keep the rails clean, because once you start getting gunk and stuff like that, you start carrying it in your pocket, here and there, you're going to start picking up some gunk, some dirt, some lint, whatever. Keep that clean, because it definitely helps with the sliding action on here to have that clean. So as you can see here, very nice. And again, it clips in. It's not going to fall out. Even with the weight on it, it's not going to fall out, which is absolutely great. And I dig that. So, and of course, this is all, proprietary stuff, right? This isn't going to just slide in with any other wallet. They make these things to kind of go together and be modular. They're pretty much exclusively compatible with this A series of wallets. And then as far as the dimension goes, you're looking at 4.16 inches by about 3 inches now that you're looking at it, from the total package, which is great. And then the total still isn't even that heavy. It's basically, once everything is put together, 4.8 ounces, right? Or without it, it's 2.6, which isn't bad at all when you don't have all the other extras and goodies in there. So really not bad at all. Obviously in hand, this thing feels great. It's got a lot of grip, which I like. If you guys can take a close look at that, the textile feel on here is really nice. And obviously I'm somebody that enjoys a good tactile point of purchase where you can feel something and it grips in your hand. I think that's really a huge feature in this thing. It's the amount of grip that it offers, but it's not going to like tear up your pocket by any means, right? This is actually quite smooth in its execution, although it's textured, so it's going to give you some grip, but it's not going to like rip up anything like if you were to have, a G10 pocket knife or something with really heavy grip, and every time you pull it in out of your pocket, it's tearing up your pocket. Not the case at all. So really how they made it grippy wasn't just the texture, it's also the material itself does offer a nice amount of grip, which I dig. Now, as far as model variants go, guys, of course there are they have a bunch of other lines of different types of wallets, but one thing that they do offer is that you can buy this thing in levels, kind of like you guys saw. I kind of pulled everything apart, right? Is that you don't have to necessarily buy everything at once. You can kind of come in and put it together as you need it, right? You can get the Bifold wallet later, or you can just rock the little frame that is aluminum with that cool finish on it. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too when it comes to that. Actually, this needs to be in just a little bit further. I guess if I had one suggestion, it might be to maybe shorten this up so it'll fit in more, or maybe have a harder back on it just to make sure. There we go. Make sure we're getting completely locked in there so everything lines up nicely. And also the nice thing is the weight will actually keep your wallet flat versus a standard wallet, which is pretty much going to puff up and fluff up any chance it gets, because it's the way it folds, it wants to unfold itself. Here, this is going to be held down by a nice little weight there, so it's going to hold itself. You can actually put this wallet on top of something if you don't want it to blow away in the wind. You got some papers or something like that, you can actually put this down and it's going to hold it pretty nicely. So I dig that. Obviously nice packaging it comes in, so you can't argue with that from that standpoint. This thing is pretty nice, guys, I gotta say. Comparable options go, of course, there's tons of different wallets out there, but for something that really, you're getting the pen, you're getting a traditional wallet in a sense, right? At least I should say a traditional wallet footprint. You don't have to use the lanyard, guys, but it came with it, so I figured why not feature it. Getting the pen, getting the notebook, right? So you can write down notes if you need them. You don't have to carry a dedicated notebook, although field notes are pretty nice. This is such a smaller footprint than this, right? That's just a completely different ball game. You're taking that and you're compressing it down into something that can fit in one pocket, which is great. And it's not that I mean, when you think about what is it bigger though? I mean, technically it's pretty much smaller, right? The thinness wise compared to this is, I would consider, relatively thin wallet, pretty much the same thickness, and it's smaller, right? You got a smaller footprint, so you're even cutting some of the fat on that traditional. And then of course this bad boy, you're really cutting that down. I mean, this is an extra thing to keep in your pocket. Basically what I typically do, one pocket here, other back pocket there, and you know, that's business. Or maybe I'll just take a pen and throw it in a shirt pocket if I'm wearing a you know, a button shirt that has a pocket on the front. But all together, guys, this thing is really nice. I was very impressed with it. Bottom line, it's a really impressive do-it-all system that could consolidate and replace more cumbersome carry options. As you guys can see there, some of my more cumbersome carry options were you know, just all put into this nice little package, nice little tight silhouette. So with all that said, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do it like, and if you aren't, please subscribe for more content just like this. One last look at McLovin, guys. We'll close on McLovin. All right, later.